Amarjit, that was our third prophet, he said, if any woman's husband dies, she has the right to remarry. So he encouraged that. Okay, that was something totally against the customs of that time. And he also started the thing that we said that our prayer hall is an open hall like this. We have our holy book, and all the men and women and children, we all sit together. Then on this side, women are there, but if there's no space, we'll be mingled as well. And there's no partition. There's no separation that you cannot see each other. It's open. Then our 10th Guru, Guru Singh. Guru means that's our very respectful, loving way of saying, calling our teacher or prophet. We call them Gurus. He was the one who introduced baptism, and at the time of baptism, he gave a very special status to a woman. He gave us the title of Kaur, which means princess. So all Sikh women, we are princesses. And we are baptized all together, men and women, we all sit in the same room, we are baptized from the same holy water. And not only that, at the very first time he had the baptism water prepared, it was a lady, we call her Mata Sahadeva. She put in the sugar into the nectar, and Guru Granth was very happy. He said this was to infuse the feeling of mercy and benevolence into the pre-existing properties which are courage and strength in that Amrit. We call it Amrit. And we have total equal rights in our religion. And women, among some religions, women are considered impure during their menstruation and after delivering a baby. They're not allowed to go to the kitchen for 40 days. But in Sikhism, there is no such a thing. We are pure, we can go and say our prayers anytime, any day. There's no restriction. And then Guru Nanak says, impurity is not in these things. These are natural phenomena, these are pure. The evil is in your thoughts. The evil is in your thoughts, change your thoughts, and those that can be changed by your divine knowledge. Okay? He says to respect your mother, sister, wife, daughter, and mothers have special respect because they mold the child's character, which is the future of our next generation. Okay. And wife is also advisor, and she to everybody in the house. And remember a saying, behind every successful man, there's a woman. Guru Nanak instructed the men, to control their vices and not blame the woman for their weaknesses. Because it's not like to say, oh, the woman made me do it. It's no, he says, you have to control your thoughts. Don't blame the woman are pure. Okay, and Sikhism says only one man, one wife. We have very strict about this. Then Guru Nanak goes a little further and he says, our soul is the bride. All human beings, we are having soul, is the bride, and our Creator is the bridegroom. So again, it comes to the fact that all human beings are equal. We all have equal rights. And in this world, in another paragraph he said, in this world, there's everyone is a woman. All the souls are women. There's only one male, and that's the Creator himself. Finally, I am very proud to be representative of the Sikh community. I'm a female, I'm well educated, at least according to the worldly standards. And I am at present the president of the Gurdwara, that's the church in Las Vegas.
The role of women in the Roman Catholic Church is frequently caricatured and reduced, I guess, to the reality that women cannot be ordained as priests in the Catholic Church. But while this is true, I think it cannot blind us to another reality, that the history of Roman Catholic Church women have held very significant leadership positions. The most obvious and traditionally appreciated, of of course, as woman, as mother, as nurturer, and in particular, nurturer of the faith. My own personal experience as a Roman Catholic woman is that I've been in leadership my entire adult life. In Ireland, I was co-founder of an agency for the aged and infirm, founder and director of several youth organisations. At a very young age, I studied at the Rabbi Institute for Leadership in London as a leader in education and reform, and held the position of manager and principal of an large prestigious higher school in Ireland. In Las Vegas, I founded a spirituality centre called Stillpoint, and have just recently founded and commenced the first ever training programme for spiritual directors in the state of Nevada. My Roman Catholic mother distinguished herself as an administrator in one of the 3 largest hospitals in our country, as well as being a leader and a nurturer herself of her 7 children. She made time to found and direct a branch in our town of an international organisation devoted to education in third world countries. My maternal aunts, all Roman Catholic women, held significant leadership roles in education, healthcare, business and agriculture, and my sisters distinguished themselves in leadership positions. My younger sister, who sadly recently died, was president of the ICA, the women's organisation of our country, ran for national election, was a member of the European Community, and spoke in the Great Hall in Tiananmen Square in Beijing at the International Conference of Women with Hillary Clinton. So leadership for Roman Catholic women is the norm in my personal experience. However, I'm not here to talk about myself this evening, but on a larger scale, story of Roman Catholic women. Our foundational Christian scriptures recount how Jesus viewed women and the significant roles that women played in the early church. And Juanne, a prominent American professor of psychiatry and religion, speaks of the radical way Jesus related to women and seeing them as capable of receiving the first announcements of revolutionary theological declarations. It was of a woman, Mary, that the Messiah came to earth in our Christian tradition. It was a woman, his mother, who instigated the first sign at the marriage feast of Cana. It was a woman, he declared that he was the Messiah, and it was to a woman, Mary Magdalene, that he announced his resurrection. And in spite of the bad press St. Paul gets about being anti-woman, in his letter to the Galatians he writes, "There is no longer Jew or Greek, there is no longer slave or free, there is no longer male or female, for all of you are one in Christ." It may surprise us to realize that Paul actually encapsulates the theme of tonight's topic. In the early days of the Roman Catholic Church, women were ordained deacons. In the 3rd and 4th centuries, they formed significant roles in what is known as the desert amas. Women such as Amma Sarah and Amma Sinanetia were sought out as spiritual directors, spiritual guides, and wisdom figures. In the Middle Ages, women contributed to the spiritual life of the Roman Catholic Church. Women mystics like Hildegard of Bingen, Mechtilde of Magdeburg, Julian of Norwich were iconic figures and still are being recovered, rediscovered, and retaught in our time. Women were doctors of the Church. Catherine of Siena was consulted by Pope Gregory and Urban as to whether he should stay in Avignon with the papacy or return to Rome. She was a very formidable woman, it seems, and ordered him back to Rome, and he obeyed her. Teresa of Avila reformed the ancient order of Carmelites and is popular today in the 21st century as a spiritual wisdom figure and spiritual guide as in her day. Popular modern spiritual teachers like Caroline Myss has reintroduced her in her work, The Interior Castle. From the 17th century onwards, we saw a new upsurge of Roman Catholic women in leadership roles as societies and congregations of religious women grew in large numbers throughout the Western world. We have women such as St. Louise de Marillac founded the well-known St. Vincent de Paul Society, which is renowned in Europe and in this country, taking care of the needs of the poor and the indigent. This procession of courageous women continued to hold significant and groundbreaking leadership positions. Women like Catherine Macaulay, who was the founder of the Sisters of Mercy in Ireland, in Dublin. She and her sisters immersed themselves in the cholera epidemic in Dublin at the time, and her sisters of Bermondsey, in London, Bermondsey, well in the Crimean War, more significant perhaps even than Florence Nightingale, but they haven't made the headlines. She and many other women founded congregations to provide education for women and health care. In fact, throughout Europe, and I think many parts of this country, many of the schools, elementary, secondary and postgraduate colleges were founded for women, were founded by women, religious, taught, ran, managed, administered and devoted to the education of girls and women. In this country, in the USA, a woman, Mother Cabrini, she was born in Italy. She was the first immigrant to be actually canonized by the Roman Catholic Church for her leadership position. And Elizabeth Ann Seton was the first American-born woman to be canonized. Also, which is very interesting, the first American people to be canonized were actually women for their leadership roles in education and hospitals. We just need to look around at the 3 hospitals founded by the Dominican sisters, St. Rose Dominican hospitals, that are in this town alone, that were founded by religious women. And a Roman Catholic woman who needs no introduction to us is Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who defied the age-old caste system to take care of the poor. And today in the USA we have such distinguished theologians as Joan Chittister, Rosemary Luther, Elizabeth Johnson, among many others. Sister Helen Prejean's work focusing on the death penalty and is very interesting, and Hollywood thought it was worthy of a movie. In South America we have people like Sister Diana Ortiz and several of the women martyrs there who took on the Sandinista governments in dealing with the injustice that was taking place. And finally, how the Church views women. In 1988, the encyclical from the Council from the Vatican on the dignity and vocation of women speaks of the unique roles and abilities. In 1994, the U.S. National Conference of Catholic Bishops rejects sexism in church teaching and asks the bishops to enhance the participation in every possible aspect of church life. The elephant in the sitting room is still there. The Roman Catholic Church still does not allow women to be ordained, so in that one area of leadership, we're still waiting. Thank you.